I need the mic. Hello, caller? Hello? Is it? Hello?
Trying to contact you about your car warranty.
Hello?
Hello, Chris.
It's not Chris. I'm thoroughly insulted. It's Jason.
I'm sorry, Jason. I didn't know you'd be answering the phone. This is Mallory calling in.
Okay.
Are we? We're not ready to start, are we?
No,
Okay.
he's on the phone right now. We have Don and Chuck Griffin and myself, and Chris is in the back, and we have Ty and Renee should be joining us.
Okay. Good deal. So Griffin's
And
there.
Director
Sarah's
Griffin said, "This is your show, so you run it."
Yeah, we'll let Director Griffin run it.
Hope you're enjoying your vacation.
I am currently on the side of the road, about 20 miles outside of Susanville, in a beautiful blue sky day.
Okay, it's 2:30. Can we call this meeting to order? Moving to item 2, public comments or committee comments. Okay, seeing none, we will move to item 3, fraud risk discussion.
We have nothing to report.
Okay. Move to item 4, baking RFP results.
Okay, so as you know, Mission Bank has pulled out of Ridgecrest. So we were looking to replace them with another financial institution that's here within the city. We released an RFP with due dates of May 23rd. And we were able to receive one proposal, and that was from Alta One. No other institution, I guess, wanted to, or so we do have one proposal. We have a schedule of fees in the packet, which they have provided for us. There is some room to, the fees are similar, but there is some room to reduce some of those fees in, I guess, if you want, agreement negotiations that we can have with Alta One. They said they are willing to at least meet, if not beat, the price on every line from Mission Bank. So I guess our recommendation would be to approve the general manager to sign an agreement with Alta One to switch our banking services over to Alta One.
That would be, I would agree with that recommendation. It should be a fairly easy process. That way, if we kept it, I just had to do the same thing. So
Yeah.
it adds two numbers to your account and everything else stays the same. So
Right, a lot of their online stuff as well uses the same portal that Mission Bank already used, so it makes it, at least for the staff, a fairly simple conversion process.
okay, that would be my
How do-
recommendation. How do you feel, Director Boyd?
I think that's a great idea. How do the fees compare to what we were paying before?
They're similar, some are a little higher and some are lower, but like I said, they have expressed willingness to meet or beat any line item fee that we had with Mission Bank.
Awesome.
Okay. Sounds good. Then we will make that recommendation as a committee. Item 5, financial statements, May 31st, 2022 preliminary.
Okay, so through May, which is 11 of the 12 months in the fiscal year, we have actual revenues of 14,589,000, which is 400,000 over our estimated budget for this time period. On the expenditure side, we're at 15,203,000, which is about $1 million less on the expenditure side than budgeted. So our net is still a negative 613,000, but that is 1.4 million better than budget. As far as capital expenditures, we're at 2.4 million, with almost 1 million of that being funding for COP projects. And we have debt service principal of just over $1 million. And you'll see in the next line item, or the next item on the agenda, that we should be coming in around a net zero at the end of the year between revenue and expenditures.
Okay, I have no questions. Director Boyd, do you have any questions?
No, it all looks nice, nice and tidy.
Okay, moving forward then, item 6, 2023 general fund and capital projects budgets.
Okay, so what you have in the packet here is the proposed budget for fiscal year 2023. On the revenue side, we have budgeted 17.29 million, which is an increase over this current year of 274,000. Expenditure side, we have at 18,019,000, which is 411,000 over the current year's budget. With a net of a negative 728,000, which is 136,000 less than the net for the current year. We have gone through all the line items. As far as revenue, we're anticipating, of course, the 3% increase that's scheduled for July 1st, but also budgeting at 97% of usage, because we do anticipate a decline in usage consumption. On the expenditure side, we're pretty much at the bones. We've picked off all the fat. There's nothing there. We had to include, there are some labor costs that are going up. There is insurance costs that are increasing. Some of the PERS, I can't remember, the unaccrued liability in PERS was increased this year as well. Trying to think what else. But what you're seeing here is, for the most part, a bare bones budget that is slightly, as far as the balance is worse than the current year's budget. And that's why we're looking at, in the financial plan, some of the increases that we are looking at. So if the board were to approve any sort of increase for the January 1st date, that's not incorporated in here currently, but that could,
Revise our budget.
right, ease that negative number there.
And you're assuming a decrease of another 3% of usage is what you're, okay.
Right.
Okay, I have no questions. Director Boyd?
No, it looks clear. You mentioned something about making adjustments if things change. I'm guessing things changing might be like that rate study that we just received.
Yeah, it would be the rate study, or even on the other end, if we find that, consumption is going down more than the 3%. We typically, when we need to, we do a revised budget in December, January timeframe to try to curtail those effects.
Okay, so it's about 6 months into the year that we would make the adjustment.
Yeah, if we see something, magnitudes higher happening at a quicker rate, then of course would be headed back sooner than 6 months.
Okay. Alrighty then. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, we'll move to item 7, accounts payable disbursements.
Do you want to look at capital?
Yeah, I was gonna say we need
first?
to there's capital in
Did
here
I
as well.
skip capital?
Yeah,
It's included in that same
Okay.
item. What we have for the capital is the 10-year proposed plan. And this plan took into account the projects that were laid out when we went over the draft general plan. So those are all accounted for in here. We spaced them out based on the ability of funding as well as the labor, being able to accomplish those projects. You see in the first year, 2023, we have a total of 9.8 million. The lion's share of that, of course, is the 3 tanks as well as the booster station. So it's kind of carrying over from this current fiscal year because we didn't get too far into the project monetarily. We do have a couple projects for the arsenic plant that are scheduled for this year. Some of the mainline replacements in South Gold Canyon, Karen, East Side. The continuation of the 3/4 meter end-of-life exchange. And on the vehicles, 120,000, that's primarily for a replacement dump truck since the one we have keeps giving us troubles.
Nightmare.
Yeah. So we're hoping to be able to trade that one in and get some sort of credit towards one that hopefully isn't as problematic.
A question on the capital improvement projects. I know we don't have a lot of room in the budget this year, but we keep talking about the bottleneck problem that we have on Springer. Jason, what's your opinion on addressing that, and Renee? I mean,
That'll be addressed in the general plan.
And it's scheduled here for 2024.
okay.
So the following fiscal year, we got 2.5 million.
It's definitely something that needs to be addressed, though.
Okay,
We have several of those.
okay. I was just concerned about it because I know we need to balance. Okay.
Yeah, we've got we got 24-inch Springer line in 2025, the 24-inch gateway in 2027. We've got them spaced out, trying to address them in a manner that won't bankrupt us all at once.
Okay.
He's coming up as well, so.
when we discuss these things in public, as we experienced last time, I'm sure we're gonna hear people concerned about rate increases and the fact that we have so much in reserve, but, we need to, I know the board understands it, but we need to make sure the public understands that, when we had those earthquakes in 2019, we essentially didn't lose service to customers. Our infrastructure withheld pretty much. I mean, there was some damage, obviously, but it's important that we continue to invest in our infrastructure. And, and with respect to reserves, I remember specific comments last time about we have too much money in reserve. Well, if we hadn't had that money in reserve when we had earthquakes hit, we wouldn't have been able to start the necessary repairs as soon as we could. And we would have been waiting for state funding. And as Renee said, we've been waiting since September for a check on the one
With no
repair.
response.
So, Yeah, so I think it's important that just the customers understand that, you know, we take pride in maintaining our infrastructure, making sure that we have the ability to continue to meet their needs. And these projects have been well vetted. They're things that we need. And obviously, we need to plan for the appropriate revenues to be able to support funding these projects. So,
And I 100% agree with you, and I also want to 100% agree or get out there that our staff also, I want to make, we had some comments about our staff being overpaid, and our staff is very important, they're very well qualified, and we need to keep a very well qualified, very well paid staff. So, because our staff performed very well during that earthquake, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have had water, so.
and they're compensated within state average, within
They're
a range
within
of state
averages.
average,
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
Competitive, otherwise you're going to be losing people like the police department's losing.
Somewhere else, absolutely, so. Director Boyd, any comments on capital improvements?
No, I think you hit the high points on that one, Chuck. And I agree with you totally on the wage compensation. I was disappointed to hear that was one of the first things that popped up by one of the more vocal commentators on water district business. But we've got the proof. We've got the averages in the state. We're on par. I don't think we have a problem defending it, but we may need to go through that a little bit next week. And the capital improvement projects, that one, if I recall, that you talked about the Springer replacement, that is part of that was in the rate adjustment or the rate study.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that was 2024?
Yes.
Okay. So no new surprises there. Everything that we know about in capital improvements over the next 5 years is in that rate study.
Correct.
Okay.
Maybe the public can be informed again of how we do our salary survey and how it's compared to
Yeah, and
similar
that may
agencies.
be a good idea to bring up, Jason, too, on Monday night when we discuss that, you know, we get averages from districts all around California in comparable sizes and cost of living and
Right.
figure everything, and that's what our pay is based on for our employees, so.
The one
Yeah, we're
spec-
not dreaming it up ourselves.
No,
Yeah, the one specific comment was about in the financial analysis was the 8% cost of living increase. And that's, of course, that could be, or it could be less. It's just a placeholder based on the information we have right now.
correct. And 8% probably wouldn't cover it right now.
Well, I think some of the comments might be based on what they see happening over on base, which is different from how the state is compensating for cost of living adjustments. So I think the base got a 5.5% adjustment last year, which is below the numbers that we're citing, but I think the state adjustments are actually higher than the Fed's.
Yeah, they also got a huge locality change. It
Yeah.
was a few years back, but that was a huge increase.
That was over 20%, wasn't it?
It was minimum 14% up to, I heard 28%.
Yeah, so it's not really the same.
No. But I just wanted to get that out there, so thank you guys and thank you to staff. So, okay, we'll move forward to item 7, accounts payable disbursements. Sorry about that. It's loud.
Going through the first page, of course, we've got the IWV Groundwater Authority for the tune of $336,000. It hurts just to say. We'll see down below, we had a transfer between accounts of $150,000. And that was from our main account into our payroll account, just to hold us over until we have the bank change. Since we're still paying from our Mission Bank, we don't have access to a local branch, so that's what that was for, which should last us a couple months. Next page, we have 71,000 to Aqua JPIA for insurance. 63,000 to Best Drilling and Pump, that was for the well 33. Krager and Stewart for 68,000. McMurtry, Hartsock, Worth, and St. Lawrence for 50,000. Murphy.
Hey, Ty,
Yeah.
on the well 33, a payment there, are we pretty much up and running now? I missed the P&E discussion on that.
We are running to the system as of this morning.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
Then we have Murphy and Everett for 43,000. Those are the big items in the first set. The last page, we have Banner Bank for 25,900. That's retention for the project for the tanks and the gateway booster.
That was well 35. Retention, I believe.
No,
Why would it be retention for the tanks and the booster? They're not done.
right, it's putting it into the escrow.
Oh, it's
for
the escrow.
retention.
It's the escrow payment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
And we got
That makes sense to me, the 5% escrow payment. I'm sorry.
492,000 to RSH Construction Services. That's for gateway and the tanks
Got it.
outside of the retention.
I believe that Parker groundwater was for 2 months too, right?
I believe so.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. So. Any questions on that? I will need a recommendation from the committee.
I would,
I'll move.
okay, then I will second.
All right.
Okay, moving to item 8, future agenda items. None. Director Boyd?
I don't have any at the moment, but I suspect that we're going to have more attention on the rate study the next time we meet with the finance committee. But that's hard to forecast right now. But and not necessary to put on the agenda. I think it's just going to be part of our job then. But
Okay, all right, thank you. Then we will adjourn this meeting at 2:49 and drive safe, Director Boyd.
okay, good deal, guys. We'll see you next Monday.
See you Monday, thank you.